Miramax Pictures, who was he became like the guy. So they were gonna back his film no matter what. And let's see, what is it? Cause I kind of like space out a minute. All right, the big home, no, not big home, but when they went to the diner, their waiter came and gave them like their food, and they got Amos name. You got milkshake is $5, whatever, blah blah blah. And he's like, she's high, but you can't tell. I mean, she had did several lines of coke. So after they won the contest, they came back, and there's gonna be just a nice evening, and he was gonna head on out. Well, he went to the bathroom, and she pulled out his bag, and then what she thought was cocaine. Well, I don't know different. I don't know that drug deal. She basically snorts a line of what she thinks is pure coke, it's pure heroin, pure grape. Now keep in mind, she already did 2 lines of coke. Now she's doing pure line of heroin, and that's what sends her off into her having OD. And when he gets out, he's up shit's creek. He's screwed. So he doesn't know what to do. So basically, he gets in the car, he drives to his buddy's house. He said, "Look, man, I'm in trouble. I need your help now." And he said, "Look, man, what do you want me to do for?" And he kind of puts him in that predicament, and that's when I like the scene where, and I didn't think. Also, it's interesting that in this movie now, you have True Romance, you have Patricia Arquette and True Romance. Now in this film, you have Alexa Arquette and Rosanna Arquette in this film. It's pretty cool. They got a lot of people in this film. Okay. He's screwed, and the guy has in the adrenaline hypothermic needle or adrenaline. I'm not pronouncing. Basically, he's shot into your heart to get your heart to start. And basically, that's what happens in this scenario right here. And basically, she revives himself out of it, and he doesn't couldn't get murdered. And I was kind of wondering, like, she clearly must have cleaned herself up pretty good, and her husband didn't come home and see her like The Walking Dead, because he should have been dead alone because of that. Um, and then, like, the stories are in sections of stories, like the Vincent Vega thing and the Vincent Marcellus thing, and also the one I'm about to tell you about, the one with Bruce Willis, the whole the watch situation. And I don't like that scene as much. I was kind of bored. I was bored. I was fast forward that, but the gist of it, Bruce Willis plays this kind of like down and out, boxer, and he's supposed to take a dive, and he's getting paid all his money to take a dive because they had his bet on it. Needs to say he did not do that, so he's a dead man, and he already had it planned out. So he basically, what was it? He basically dipped out, was heading home, and is already going to be on the road before he figured it out. But in the story, I think that why it says the watch is because it was his dad's watch that he got while he was in the war, because I think it was his grandfather's why he took him to rectum, but someone else's rectum. Christopher Walken plays the soldier who brings it and he puts the his rectum, and he brings it home, and his watch is important because it's been through generation to generation. So it's a watch he doesn't want to lose. So, needs to say, he wants to keep his watch. So when he's waking up from another nightmare or whatever, of that, he realizes his wife or girlfriend, got the watch. So she has to go back to the hotel or the apartment to get the watch. Now, this is what I mean, where like the stories, they're connected, but they're apart. So when you see this movie, like, why is such and such alive when this happened? Because that didn't happen yet. Like when you go to the movie and you watch when he's going to the bath and he comes in his apartment, and Vincent Vega is on the toilet and opens the door, and he goes like, "Well, why is he alive?" Well, because that didn't happen. So Vincent Vega gets shot and killed in that scene, but that's because of the scene. These things happen in these timelines, but it's not important because he explained it's kind of like a novel. He said in a novel you don't really question why it's like, well, such and such happened this time and this happened here. I was like, wait a minute, but such and such didn't even show up in the scene right here because that didn't happen yet. But we're not talking about that. We're talking about this particular scene. So it looks weird because like maybe it's continuity error. So no, it's not continuity error. It's just the fact that they focus on that one particular story. It actually makes it really more fascinating. That's why he's a great director. So this is no exception. Um, he kills him and he gets away, and that's when he runs into Wynton Marsalis. No, Wynton Marsalis. What's the name? What's the name? No, what's Marsalis? I hate when I forget names. Well, obviously, being right. Screw it. I had his name, but that's the whole thing. Where he basically runs into him, and then they basically he chases him and he chases him into a pawn shop, and that's when like the basically the people from like Wrong Turn or whatever, like the perverts, they basically are going to tie him and rape him and he gets loose and all that kind of stuff. That happens. He basically, you just watch the scene if you want to, you can fast forward it. But the gist of it is Bing Rames and what's his name gets tied up. I hate what. Yeah, not Mia Wallace, but you know Wallace, whatever his first name is, and he gets raped, whatever. Now, originally, a lot of people were considered to play, you know, Ving Rhames' character, but he turned it down, and they probably saw that scene and say, yeah, "I'm not doing that." But Ving Rhames was he was an unknown actor, but he was not a big actor, and I think that helped his career. And that role is a very good role, and basically, Bruce Willis' character breaks free, and he's going to leave him down there, but he goes back and he gets him loose, and that's the whole thing about I'm gonna burn this whole town down, I'm gonna get medieval on you, and he basically leaves town, and that's basically what happens in this snare, and then the third one is basically Wynton Marsalis and all that, but that was too long to get into detail on that one, but you know when you watch it you'll see what I mean. But that film was basically his second film. Now, his third film he did was Jackie Brown. Now, Jackie Brown is an adaptation of Elmore Leonard novel. So is Pulp Fiction as well. It's an adaptation, but I think he said it was more like a what we call it, a kind of like a tribute to Elmore Leonard. But this is the actual adaptation. The actual film, the book is called Rum Punch, and the character is supposed to be a white woman, but he looked at Pam Grier as being the character because she can portray that character in middle age who's basically down on her luck at this point. She is basically, she's at this crappy airline, and the movie is basically, you see, I'm gonna look up Jackie Brown. Hold on a second, because I want to get what's the names right. Basically, Pam Grier's character in the movie gets screwed over. And the movie's about, in a nutshell, about her playing all sides to get out of the situation and get a piece for herself. But I want to run down like basically the plot real quick and talk about some parts in the movie because the movie's very good. And I say this because I'm gonna keep going back to this. I don't think Quentin Tarantino, in my opinion, has done a bad film. None of his films are awful. Some films are better than others, but they're not bad. So when you say something better, like one's crappy, but this is no exception. let's see. I don't know why they went back to here because I clearly said Jackie Brown. I'm gonna go here. Uh, Also, Jackie Brown is also adapted, whatever. But I didn't want to do that. They're being difficult. Let's see. Let's see. Okay. See what we have here. Uh, let's see. All right. Okay. I'm just gonna say. Right, I'm gonna do this. Parents being a prick right now because you gotta type in exactly because they act like they don't know what you're talking about. All right. Jackie Brown is a name of a flight attendant who got caught smuggling her boss's gun money on an airline she works for. Lucky for her, the Fed Ray Nicolette and the LA cop Mark decided to team together. So basically, the movie starts out with Samuel Jackson and Robert De Niro watching like videos on guns or whatever, and same time Jackie Brown gets stopped by the cops and she's put in jail and put up for bond. And all this happens around the time because what's his name? Beaumont, played by what's his name? Now I gotta look up his name. That's a shame. Chris Tucker. Uh, Basically snitches on him because he gets busted. I mean, you know that's what happened. He snitched on him. They don't really say it, but that's what happened. Um, so Samuel Jackson's character, I'm gonna go back since I already read that synopsis. I'm just gonna go back to this. I hate doing this where it's like going back to the actor's name. It's kind of lazy, but I can do this now, so I forget his name. Ordell basically knows that Beaumont snitched. So basically, what he does was to cut, to cut that situation out. He kind of alludes to the fact that, hey man, did you do something for me? Talking to Beaumont, he goes to his apartment complex and look, man, I got some Asian dudes. I'm gonna try to scare him out. Use him like they're gonna be his, they're gonna be security for him or whatever. But he know that we don't play any games. So he puts Beaumont in the trunk and he drives around the side and shoots him in the head. He wants to eliminate that situation, but then has to deal with the fact that Jackie is now screwed. So he goes to, and I apologize, I'm going all over the place, but before Ordell kills Beaumont, he goes to a bail bondsman and he puts a bail out.